Over the past 90 days, I've deleted all my social media accounts besides YouTube. So I want to talk about some of the pros and cons that you're going to face when you delete social media. So the first pro that I've noticed when I deleted social media is just you have way more free time to do whatever you want to do. When you're constantly like scrolling on your phone, Instagram, Reels, TikTok, Twitter, etc., like time I swear time goes by faster, right? Because you'll be chilling in bed. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna watch a couple videos. All of a sudden, it's 3 a.m. It's like, where did all the time go? But even like you come home or after class, you chill. You say, oh, I'm just gonna scroll on Instagram a little bit. 2 3 hours have gone by. So I think one of the biggest pros that I've seen is just I have way more free time to just do stuff and like work on stuff that actually matters and not just like doom scroll content that like literally has no effect on my life. And with that free time, it's almost guaranteed that your attention span is going to improve as well because we're not constantly feeding your brain 15-second clips. You're going to get bored. And once you start to get bored, you're going to do things that you never thought you would do, like journal, reading, watch longer videos, movies, TV, just anything longer. And your attention span is just going to start to grow. So I think that's the first pro that I've really experienced when I started deleting social media. This might be my favorite one because at number two, we have the increase in confidence because you stop comparing yourself to other people's lives. So, social media is fake. Everything you see on there is edited, it's manipulative, and it's controlling. Every video you watch takes control of your emotions and you're subconsciously comparing yourself to other people. So, for example, if you see a happy relationship, a happy couple posting their 1 year anniversary, they don't post when they fight. They only post when they're doing good, you know what I mean? Like, and that's just one example. Or when people post money, like when people post on social media flexing tons of money, and then you're like, damn, I'm 18 and I'm broke, but this guy's 18 with 100K. Like, it's very, you just compare yourself to unrealistic standards. And so after you delete your social medias, you start to realize that these are fabricated lies. Well, maybe not lies. These are fabricated truths of reality that aren't always true. And you start to see that the world isn't so black and white and there's not one way to do things. And this is just one of the big problems with social media is that it forces you to compare yourself. And I've heard somebody say that it doesn't matter that they're on steroids, it matters that they look like that and I don't, which kind of summarizes it if you're into like gym stuff. And yeah, when you say stuff like that, it's just over for you because you're comparing yourself to an unrealistic standard of living, an unrealistic standard of life, and it's going to be hard to do anything when you feel like everybody's ahead of you. Along with the increase in confidence, I also saw a decrease in my anxiety. I don't really know why that is, but I think it's because I'm not on my phone as much. So I actually have to like be present in the moment and like analyze what is going on around me, if that makes sense. Because you'll just be sitting at the table, everyone's on their phone, and you're just, you can't scroll on Instagram. You're just sitting there. And that's one of the cons I'll talk about later. But I think it definitely reduces anxiety because even though we call it social media, people are now more lonely than ever. I don't know why we don't talk about this, but social media isn't really social anymore. You're not really interacting with your friends like that unless you're sending them reels. You're not really like it's more exploratory now. It's not very the social media parts are gone. Everything is tailored algorithms. Everything is tailored algorithms. Everything is tailored algorithms now, so it's not really social media anymore. The third pro that I believe that comes from deleting all your social medias is better mood, more energy, less brain fog, and better control of your emotions. And I kind of categorized all these into one point because they're kind of similar in a way. I feel like the brain fog is actually huge. I've been off TikTok for like 3 years now, anyways, but once I deleted everything else, I just feel like I got way more creative ideas and just more drive to do things. Like I'm not just complacent doing the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? And why I put better control of your emotions here as well is because, like I said earlier, every video you watch is changing your emotions in one way or another. There was a point in my life where I was just watching sad videos, and when you like a sad video, it's gonna feed you more sad videos to keep making you sad. Like it's it's just oh man, it's bad. So once you stop watching these videos that make you feel a certain type of way, I feel like you're able to better understand how you actually feel about your life or a certain situation without an app telling you how to feel. Number four actually is going to be a surprise to a lot of you guys, but I feel like it actually gives you deeper and more meaningful relationships. And let me explain. after you delete social media, most of those people on there you're never going to speak to again, right? So the people that you actually stay in contact with, you have to put in effort to see what's going on in their lives, and hopefully they reciprocate the same energy. And if they don't, then it's not really a good friendship. But when you're not constantly updated on your friend's life through their spam or their repost or whatever, you actually have to put in effort to see what's going on in their lives. So if you have a good friend, they're gonna stay in contact with you, text you, reach out, and you're actually gonna have stuff to talk about that has substance. It's not just gonna be like a one-off TikTok that's funny. You know what I mean? You're gonna be talking about stuff that means something to you, like something that happened to you that's like something that actually impacted you. You're not gonna be wasting time talking about Diddy. You know what I mean? Like something. Okay, that was the fifth pro from deleting social media. Is going to sound kind of corny and make me sound like a loser, which it's okay. But I labeled it mysterious aura. Okay, now I know everyone's in the comments like, what is this guy talking about? But look, let me explain again. So I'm not like very spiritual and like into energy and things, but I do feel like there's some sort of when you know nobody can just search you up and like stalk your profile and something like that, it's a different kind of like energy to it. I don't know how to explain it, and I know I sound like a loser and a cornball, but there's a different type of like feeling that like other people can't like hate on you. You know what I mean? Like sure they can when they see you in person, but like they can't go to your page, comment negative things, say negative things. And I know like you wouldn't know if they did, but like the feeling that you have that knowing they can't do it, I don't know how to explain it. I if anyone else has their socials deleted and knows a better way to explain it, please comment below because I really don't know how to put it in words. It's just something that you need to experience to understand what I'm talking about. But those are the five pros. So now let's get into the five cons of deleting social media. And the first one, I think, is the biggest one for everyone, and that's FOMO, fear of missing out. When I first deleted my social medias, this was like the biggest thing holding me back, and it's probably the thing that's holding you back or other people back, and that's the fear of missing out of what other people are doing. You think you're going to be out of the loop of your friends, you think you're going to be out of the loop with the news, the drama, whatever it may be, you just think you're going to be out of the loop. So you keep the apps downloaded, which is okay. But once you delete the apps, you realize that you're not really missing out on anything of substance. So if I told you to remember the last 30 TikToks that you watched, you could probably name five at max, maybe 10 if you've got a good memory. And with the friendships, like I said earlier, your real friends you're going to stay connected with no matter what. You can ask people for their number, WhatsApp, Telegram, like anything. Like there's so many different ways to stay in touch with somebody that you actually care about. You're not just gonna let them go because you deleted Instagram. FOMO is only something that can really be defeated after you've realized that you're not missing out on anything. And related to FOMO, which is an actual con that I face, is social isolation because like I said, you don't know anything that's trending anymore, right? So when somebody comes up to me and is like, "Yo, have you seen this, that, and the third?" I'm like, "No, I'm not on social media." They're like, and then you have to explain why you're not on social media, and it's like it's kind of awkward. But if they're a chill person, they just show you it and you'll laugh, whatever. The reason I phrase it as social isolation is because like you can't be in group chats. You don't really know what's going on, which is good and bad. Like there's positives and negatives to that. And eventually you do catch up on the lingo. Like I don't know how, but most of the time I figure out stuff anyways, maybe just from YouTube or one of my friends will say something and I'll be like, what does that mean? And then they explain it to me. So most of the time you do catch up anyways, but you'll probably be a little late. And this is also related to social isolation, but it's harder to connect with others. So spoke a little bit about like there's not much to talk about when everyone's updated on everything and you're not updated on anything at all. So it's harder to connect with people, right? So online dating's a very big thing. If you're not on Instagram sliding into DMs, you're gonna have to go approach a girl. If you're not promoting your business on social media, you're gonna have to what? Put flyers out? Like it's harder to put yourself out there when you're not online socially. My final con is related to that as well is just it's harder to market yourself, right? If you're a content creator, business owner, real estate, just anything of that nature, how are you going to promote yourself without posting on social media? It'd be different to just post, right? That's fine. Like if you wanted to just post and get off the app, but how many people really post something and then immediately get off? It's kind of hard to not, oh, let me see what Jimmy's up to. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. So those are really the only cons that I could think of. If you have anything else in the comments, let me know. But overall, you just have to ask yourself, do you think that the cons outweigh the pros, or do you think the pros outweigh the cons? And in my personal opinion, the pros definitely outweigh the cons because you're not really missing out on much. There's a saying that goes around that you never hear somebody say, I deleted social media and my life got worse. And that's because one, you could obviously just get it back. But two, you realize the only thing that you're really missing out on is the life that you're trying to live. It's been a journey over these 90 days. There has been some moments where I thought about getting the app back, and but I just haven't. And I'm now at the point where I don't think I'll be getting social media back ever, unless the algorithms change and it becomes less addictive. Then I don't see myself getting social media back ever. It's not worth it for me, man. And everyone may be different. You know, if you can use it in moderation and be fine, then go for that, do that. I'm not saying you have to delete social media and your life's gonna change and all this. I'm just saying there are serious pros and cons to deleting it just because of the way the world is shaped now. But yeah, those are the pros and cons that I felt deleting social media. Let me know if you agree or disagree, if there's anything you think I missed. But I want to end this video with the quote as well. Many people will panic to find a charger before their phone dies, but won't panic to find a plan before their dream dies.